Hey everybody, this is Joseph Hasek, and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to the On the Mat Wrestling Show. Welcome back to my good friend Zania. Zania, how you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for having me again. This has been a great time always. So I'm excited to talk about AEW and to talk about the much anticipated pay per view.
Yeah, Revolution this Sunday, March 15th, from the Crypto.com arena, the home of formerly Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Kings and Lakers. And are you ready for like a 6 hour show?
Always. There's no such thing as too much wrestling.
Yeah, well, maybe there is. Okay, let's get to the 0 hour again. Revolution starts at about 8 o'clock. The 0 hour starts about 7. If they want to start 6:45, 6, whatever time they want to start. All right, let's get to. There's a 21-man battle royal to see who takes on Ricochet for his. It's called the Blackjack Battle Royal for the national championship. Who do you think's going to win this? Who's going to face Ricochet on the pay-per-view?
Oh my god, I don't even know. With Battle Royals, it's always such a thing. Like it's always a surprise, and I love a battle royal. By the way, I don't know why. Maybe it's because since I was young, I always liked wrestlers that were not as prominently featured on TV. So whenever there's a battle royal, I would like get to see them. So maybe that's why I like battle royals. But I honestly don't know. I just hope we get to see some of the again less featured talent. I hope we get to see maybe some of the more RH leaning talent. And for them to get the spotlight, maybe we get to see Frat House. I don't know. So, but no, I have no idea who's gonna win this one.
And
Honestly,
what do you like better, a battle royal or a Royal Rumble?
I mean tomato, tomato, right?
Well, I
I
don't know
like
because
Battle Riot.
yeah, exactly. So, all right, and then it just happened on Dynamite. Willow Nightingale going on and taking on a newcomer descending. She's going to defend the TBS title and then defend the tag team titles with her partner on the Revolution pay per view. Now, Willow Nightingale, I'm sorry, she's not. She has to be in the best shape of his life for doing twice, two matches in a
Mm.
span, let's say, of an hour and a half. Okay, if she's going to face for the TABS title on the 0 hour, I think she's going to win. All right, then the tag team, I don't know because Megan Bain's strong. They're coming off strong. Do you think she goes 2-0 or 1-1 or 0-2?
And Willow has been on fire, and to say that she's been in the best shape of her life, I think she has been. And this is not a comment on her looks necessarily, but I think she's definitely been working so hard. And she's on fire. She's one of the top baby faces in AEW. So I think it's very feasible for her to go 2-0.
All right, so the next one should be a good match. Timeless Tony Storm against Maria Shafir.
I am so team Tony Storm, which like I love Marina. Don't get me wrong, and also Marina is a
Yeah,
fellow Slavic
Moldovan.
woman. She's Moldovan, so and she's been absolutely amazing in the Death Riders, and I think she is the heart and soul of Death Riders. I think she's literally what makes that group. But I'm such a big Tony Storm fan, and I genuinely think she's one of the best wrestlers in the world, not just women's wrestlers, but and not just on the mat wrestlers, but the full package of everything. The acting, the gimmick, the in ring as well, the presentation, everything, and the way she carries herself. And she has been one of the top AEW talents again, regardless of whether it's the women's or men's division. And I think it's time for her to start regaining or keep gaining that relevancy because ever since she's been out of the title picture, it's hard to stay relevant and it's hard to keep that top star status. So I'm hoping that she wins this one because a win over someone as threatening as powerful as Marina Shafir would definitely help that process. But I wouldn't be mad either way.
Now, I don't know if this match is still taking place because, and I know you popped for this one. The Boom, all right. Yes, Big Boom AJ versus to be announced. They haven't announced anything about a Big Boom there. They usually announce it, so I don't know if they're going to wait till Sunday to announce it or whatever. Let's just say they announce it Sunday. He's going to win. There's no way he's going to lose. He wins all the time. That's part of it. his gimmick. Then the Don Callis family versus Jet Speed and Mystico. This should be a good AEW Trios Championship match.
It's definitely going to be an amazing match. There's so many great wrestlers in this match, but I also think it's a given almost that the Don Callis family wins this one because they just won those titles, and those titles are now such an important like building block in the relevancy of the group the whole. So they're definitely winning this one, but we're gonna enjoy watching it anyway. And I think Mystico is absolutely incredible. And just as a side comment, I think it's just so unfair that when he had his WWE run, WWE put him in a situation where he couldn't perform to the fullest, and that ended up becoming almost like a reputation that he had to string along for years after. And I'm so glad that he's finally getting more spotlight and more recognition for the great wrestler that he is.
And the AEW capitalized that on it again, right? So whatever WWE doesn't want or throws, the AEW capitalizes it. And
oh, come on. This is, I don't think that's fair to say because, we like to say, oh, WWE guys or ex-WWE guys.
Yeah.
But to define Mystico as a WWE guy would be an error because he had an extensive career before. And that's what I'm saying. Like his WWE run was an unfortunate page in this book, and he's not defined by that. And that goes to a lot of other people.
You're right.
People like to say that, for example, I don't know, the Good Brothers or Cody, even like, oh, WWE guys. But, they've been in other places before. They've been in Japan, they've been in TNA. And if anything, for example, AJ Styles, people like to say, oh, he's a WWE lifer, which, he's getting his, Hall of Fame induction. But
he was always TNA.
He's in turn an ex-TNA guy, but no one's saying that, So just because WWE gets more exposure and more people see it, it makes you feel like, oh my God, this is the WWE person. But ultimately, a lot of them are not at all.
All right, the next match, this should be a Barn Burner 2 ladies match, 2 out of 3 falls match. It is for the AEW women's title, Tekla versus Chris Statlander. And you know what? It's a toss-up to me. I know Chris Statlander lost it, but AEW has, they lose, they win, they lose, they win. But Tekla, maybe they want to go far with her. And it's interesting to see Mercedes Moné is coming back. She's dropping all the titles. Do they want to put Tekla against Mercedes Moné, or they want to put, again, Chris Statlander against Mercedes Moné for the title there? She's Mercedes Moné is down, I believe, to 7 or 8 titles from 14 or 15. So, it's been the coolest 7 title drop ever in wrestling, put it that way. Because I don't know if she lost 7 or lost 6 or lost 8.
I mean, it was a natural progression of that storyline, though, right? Like every title collector is going to have a fall down, and it's on them in the booking whether it's entertaining or not, right? But I agree with you that it is a toss-up. I'm a big Chris Statlander fan, and she finally seems to be getting the recognition that she's deserved, and not that she's been snubbed before, but she's worked through some pretty serious injuries and was away for a while. But Tekla, it seems like AEW is strapping a rocket to Tekla, and can you blame them? She's electric. She's amazing. She's just there's something about her that's so different, or maybe it's just that the novelty hasn't worn off yet, but she's just been very exciting to watch, and I think it would be very fair for her to pick up the win.
Now, I have a couple questions wanting me to ask. Can you do the spider move? Yes, she can do the spider move. So that's not me. That comes from actually. It sounds like a Romanian, but Jonathan Muzano. So I don't know if it's Romanian or Italian, but.
Italian. Yeah. I don't know why people like people tell me I look like Tekla. I don't see it, but
no. But I'll tell you who you don't look like: Brody King. Brody King and Swerve Strickland. All right, this is one of the highly anticipated bouts on this. Is this a premier live event or a pay-per-view? I don't know. But anyway, Brody King, Swerve Strickland. Do they? Because I could see them sort of. Going through this feud till August, till Wembley Stadium and all that. So who wins this match first, and then the next match? Because AEW now has a series of 3 pay-per-views in a row. I don't know about June. Okay, so I don't know about June, but April they have a Dynasty, and then May they have what they always had, the premier live event, or the Dynamo or double from Vegas, but this year's from New York. So it's going to be interesting to see that weekend. By the way, they just announced it from the WWE. May 24th is the AEW pay per view, Double or Nothing, and May 23rd, Saturday night's main event. So, that weekend, and of course, in the United States, it's Veterans Day. So you got, and then Veterans Day, the 25th is I think the big car race and all that. So in the U.S., a lot of action happening in May, and they're having the Double or Nothing. It's from Vegas, but this year it's from New York, and it looks like it's close by Arthur Ashe Stadium, the stadium where they had Grand Slam. Put it that way. But I digress. Brody King, Swerve Strickland. Who's your pick?
I'm again such a big fan of Brody King, and I think he's just so amazing. But if we're talking about like the imaginary power ranking of like who seems to be more in their groove, that would be Swerve. And also, Brody King has been so amazing with trying to like give platform to messages that need to be spread and that need to be heard, like the ICE situation. But we know that the TV networks have not been big fans of this, so it's been suppressed a little bit. But then we're talking pay-per-view, right? So I don't know if that actually has affected or would affect his position in the company. I would hope not. But even regardless of that, I think Swerve is in a more powerful position right now.
So who's out? This is it. Never mind. All right. And then, so you're going with Swerve. Then this card from top to bottom, all good matches. And let's hope they have really good matches in all of them. All guys stay safe. Don't get injured, because there's been a series of injuries all over the professional world. Bandito against Andrade El Idolo. This should be another good match.
Anger. Yeah. But I feel like it's a similar situation too, of where just simply in terms of status, Andrade is just higher status. So I think he would get the title. And with the whole like complex situation of him like jumping from WWE back again, right, really quickly, and then WWE going like, hey, you were not allowed to do this actually, and then for him having to disappear again. And it was such a convoluted situation that I feel like maybe the fans would want some kind of a gratification there. So it would make sense to finally like solidify his position in the company with winning this. But yeah, I think he's gonna win this one. But I'm such a big fan of Bandito as well. But Bandito has also been appearing in RH a lot, which makes sense, since he's the champ. But maybe Bandito is going to appear more there now that they're separating the rosters a little more, and it's more of a clear separation with RH and AEW. And I will be able to let you know because there's a taping, an RH taping in Jacksonville on the 22nd of March. So as always, when you go to taping, you kind of know what's going to happen a couple weeks in advance. So I'll be able to be the little birdie to tell you guys, he has been appearing more than RH.
Be the little birdie, okay. Then another, the matches keep getting better and better. Jon Moxley versus Takeshita for the Continental Championship. And by the way, what's the difference between the Continental Championship, Ricochet's Championship, and heavyweight champion is AEW, you know that, but they got so many championships, and for what? For what? Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley starting off Dynamite every week.
I think Jon Moxley, to me, for now at least, he hasn't lost the my interest. I think he's been great, and with the whole feud with Takeshita situation, we've seen some uncharacteristic Jon Moxley of actually showing respect and being aware of how powerful the opponent is. And we know that last time Jon Moxley there was a there was a time limit draw. Right?
That's why
we know that no one won last time, which makes this even more interesting. But I honestly think that this time Moxley is not escaping Takeshita. I think Takeshita is going to win this.
Okay, and also this match I forgot to announce is no time limit because they
Yes, because of
wanted this match as a no time limit because last time was a time limit. All right, there you go. Okay, then I don't know if this is even a better match, but FTR versus the Young Bucks for the tag team titles.
oh man, isn't it super cool that now we get to see this match kind of regularly?
Yeah,
Like it used to be a dream match when they were in different companies and it seemed impossible, but now we get this all the time. I
and if
think
you
it's
want me to
cool.
give you a little birdie, what he told me.
Yes.
All right, as you know, as I mentioned, the next pay per view Premier Live event is Dynasty from Edmonton or from Vancouver. Vancouver. I say that because we haven't seen Toronto boy and another Toronto boy or an Orangeville boy, Christian and Edge. The last time we seen them, they were feuding with FTR. All right, so
Uh-huh.
I could see because the next time pay per view is in Vancouver, and the next one is in New York, and then October the like I announced it, nobody has ever said that Edge is going to have the retirement match in October here in Toronto. All right. I could see Edge and Christian, and I made some few calls, and they said, just tune into the show. So that means that just tune into the show. It's either yes, they're going to appear, or Tony Khan just pushed it back. So I could see, FTR winning and they doing a number on the Young Bucks, and then you hear on this day, and then you hear Christian, and the daddies are home, especially coming to the next pay per view in Vancouver. I think that makes a lot of sense. What do you say?
No, it definitely makes a lot of sense. I agree. And with the Young Bucks, I feel like they're one of those tag teams where one loss or another doesn't really affect them. Like it's not going to make us think any less of them or, not want to see them as much. So I think it does make sense. And that would be amazing, right? That would be such a great way to, for Edge to, or Cope to, to conclude his career.
And don't forget, Revolution is where Sting concluded his career. They always
So
have big
it's
stuff.
becoming a tradition almost, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the big stuff usually happens in Revolution. Big stuff happens in Double or Nothing and all that. And Dynasty is a dynasty. They got to create a dynasty. There you go. All right. For the heavyweight title. All right. My good Jewish friend, MJF. MJF, all right? Don't talk about his pickle or anything. Up against Hangman Page, Adam Page. If Hangman loses, he does not get a shot at the AEW title ever again. Now, what does that mean? If MJF loses, he does not have a title shot. Hangman Page against Christian and Edge or whoever, or does it mean because they didn't clarify yet that if it's just MJF with the title, he can't have a title shot? Because I've never seen something that they did not clarify. They should have said, okay, if MJF has the title, you cannot compete for the title until he loses it. But they
Mhm.
have not said that.
Yeah. I think they're also like trying to figure out the best way to go about it because last time we had, or was it the last time? I can't remember. I think it was the last time that we had the stipulation of like never ever can compete for the
Yep,
title again. That was Cody Rhodes, and that killed his AW run completely.
yep.
So hopefully they don't make the same mistake. But then again, how high are the stakes if it's just when MGF has it? Like, not as dramatic, as you would want it to be. So I think honestly, the best way out of this is to make the stipulation that he can never compete for the title again if he loses and just have him win. Because I think that would add importance to the match and it would add importance to his win. And, he's had some things to say on the internet recently that people were not very happy about, but it doesn't seem to affect the live audience and doesn't seem to affect like the actual TV product, which whether it's a good thing or a bad thing is a completely separate topic. But I don't think he's been affected by it to the point where he would lose this right now.
Well, I could see Strickland getting involved in this one because him and MJF, but I also, based on Wednesday, where MJF talked down Kyle Fletcher, uh, and he's telling Don Callis, "Get your guy to talk to me rightly." So I don't know. They have was Brody King there, Hangman Page. There was Swerve Strickland, or a bunch of guys who can challenge for the title, but I don't know if he's gonna not face anybody for the title. Where does Hangman Page go then?
Yeah, we were talking about it in a different episode that like he's just gonna wrestle Swerve Strickland forever. It's gonna be stuck in the endless loop of that rivalry. Which I don't think we have to be mad at that necessarily because they are great together as rivals and as allies. But you're right, it's gonna be very limiting of his future in AEW. And considering that he's been posed as the top guy, as the main eventer, as the champion from the very start. We know that he came this close to becoming the very first AEW champion in history, right? So for him to lose that opportunity would be detrimental because he's a top babyface. He's a very natural babyface. Where does a babyface go if not for the title? A heel can go anywhere. They can cause problems anywhere. But where does the babyface go? It's just, and that's why it killed Cody Rhodes' momentum, and that's why it had fans turn on him because how are you going to be a top babyface and not have a goal, essentially?
So, in other words, you're telling me to check the contract of Hangman Page if he's available. Never mind. All right, and just a couple notes here. AEW again Sunday. Usually you have Saturday. It's Sunday, March 15th, 8 o'clock, 0 hours, starting at 7. Now, just a question about the WWE. Are you for CM Punk speaking his mind and saying he's going to bury Roman Reigns right next to his father? Because a lot of people are against that, and there was backlash, and now the Usos took. Are we going to see the Bloodline Part 60 now?
I mean, the thing about CM Punk, and the reason why we like him or hate him, right, whichever one it is he's an asshole. And he's never not been an asshole. Like, people kind of forget about that. So I don't know why the surprise. I don't know why the clutching of pearls. Like, this is just CM Punk, and you either take it for what it is, or you don't. Lately, a lot of people don't. But I think he's just one of those people where he's kind of reached the Randy Orton, John Cena status, where whatever he does, he's CM Punk. He's earned the right to do it,
And by the way, I just received a text from my good Jewish friend Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He says, let's start something for Paul Heyman. He's very sick, and Paul Heyman is also the tribe there. So Paul Heyman and MJF wants to start something for Paul Heyman. I have to call Goldberg and all the Jewish guys, and we're going to do something here for wrestlers, Jewish wrestlers in wrestling. Okay? So there you go. But one other thing you mentioned, Randy Orton. Does he get number 15 a month from now at WrestleMania? It looks like main event number 1 will be Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes. Main event on the second night will be Roman against CM Punk. So does Randy Orton get number 15 and pass Triple H?
I hope so. And for
you hate Cody Rhodes.
No, I love Cody Rhodes.
I'm just joking.
I do. I've been a fan of his since his very early WWE days. Like, that's what I was about to say, that since Legacy, I've been a big fan of both him and Randy. And I think Randy, people don't give him the flowers that he deserves because it's like, oh, like he's kind of been the same throughout, and not much has changed, and he's older now, so maybe give way to the younger wrestlers, which I get that sentiment, but I feel like whatever he's been doing all these years, it works. You can't do anything about it.
Look at his body. 43 years old, and look at that body. If people could see, he like 25. Look at that body. Like, I'm great to speak about bodies, but look, Randy Orton, certainly, and what a party. He's friends with Triple H. On what a party that will be if Randy Orton comes out. The only way I hear rumors, first of all, I gotta mention this. On Monday, do you know what Monday is?
What is it?
Monday is 3/16.
Oh, there you go.
And they're talking about Stone Cold. Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin appearing on Raw on Monday. That's number 1. Number 2, they were talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin appearing at WrestleMania. Number 3, they're talking about Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and a surprise referee. Now, I won't. We'll talk about it later. But one final question, because we got 4 or 5 questions asking to ask you this: Brock Lesnar versus who? Who would you book Brock Lesnar against at WrestleMania 42? Is it Oba Femi? Is it LA Knight? Look, for me, it should be Oba Femi, or it should be, it shouldn't be LA Knight, because I don't tell me LA Knight's going to get a victory over Brock Lesnar. Do not tell me that. So who
Brock
would you
Lesnar versus retirement. Brock Lesnar versus his couch at home. That's what I would like to see.
I know what. I know.
No, but
That's
the serious
in August, it's going to be Gunther. Okay, so in August, I'm telling you, at SummerSlam, why? Because SummerSlam is in Minnesota. Brock Lesnar born in Minnesota. He'll retire in Minnesota. Boom, bang, finished. There you go. Now, so Brock Lesnar, you don't care who he faces at WrestleMania. I guess we lost her for a. Xenia, you there?
I'm here. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
No,
I care a little bit, because, like we were saying at one of the previous shows, that I really don't think he would lose to anyone. So if we're coming from that assumption, I would rather that we feed LA Knight to him as opposed to Oba Femi. Because Oba Femi, they've been building as this new superstar, and we've been talking about how there's been scarcity of newer, younger people who could be of the main event caliber and who have been built to be main eventers. So I would really not want them to feed Oba Femi to Brock Lesnar. So if we're coming from there, LA Knight. But if Brock Lesnar is finally going to bite the bullet and lose to someone at WrestleMania, then it would make sense for it to be Oba Femi.
All right. So, Xenia, tell everybody how to get a hold of you, and tell them about your great website and the great interviews you have. Check out her YouTube page and everything for great interviews.
Thank you. You can find me at Xenia Did That. It's right here, XENIA, on Instagram, on X, and on YouTube. On YouTube, as Joseph said, you can find my interviews. I've interviewed over 200 wrestlers, so there's definitely going to be one of your favorites there. And I have some short-form content on there as well as on my Instagram with wrestlers, recently featuring NWA wrestlers. That's been really fun. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to Atlanta for MLW this weekend, so going to be some MLW content. And if you are a wrestler or any other wrestling-related worker, be it a manager, a broadcaster, a referee, a content creator, you can also check out the links in my bio, or simply reach out to me if you are ready to monetize your socials, to build your personal brand, and to make your digital presence work for you as opposed to it feeling as a chore and you working for it. And if you're ready to make that step and become the superstar that you deserve to be and up your wrestling income, you should reach out to me.
And by the way, if you're going to go to MLW, say hi to my Romanian friend, Scarlett. All right?
Yes.
I mean,
our Romanian friend.
That's
you
it.
seem to surround yourself with Romanian blondes.
Yeah, and same shirts. Put it that way. All right. So next time, hopefully, Xenia will be back here a couple of weeks. Enjoy the trip to MLW. Enjoy Ring of Honor, and like I said, next time you'll be here, probably Dynasty. But enjoy the pay-per-view. It should be another 7-hour marathon and good wrestling.
That's the way we like it.
Thanks a lot, Xenia.
Thank you for having me.